Hello everybody, Tony here, and welcome back to my Soul series review, and this is part 3. In part 2, I took a look at Soulcalibur II, the PlayStation 2 version, and gave it an 8.5 out of 10, because there were some things that it improved from Soul Blade, but also took a step back from Soul Blade. So, this game ended up getting an 8.5, but it's still a great game. Definitely pick it up if you're a fan of the Soul series and a fan of fighting games, especially ones by Namco. Today, for part 3, I will be looking at the next game in the Soulcalibur series, and this game was only released on the PlayStation 2, and this game was released in late 2005, and I got it for my 17th birthday, and that game I'm going to be talking about today is Soulcalibur III, once again done by Namco, and Project Soul. Now, when I first learned that Soulcalibur III was coming out, I was definitely excited to buy it because, like, I had fun with Soul Blade and Soulcalibur 2, so I knew Soulcalibur 3 was going to be a success as well. And to be honest with you, it was a success. This game is fantastic. Better than Soulcalibur 2, but it's still not as good as Soul Blade. But the game will be getting a slightly higher rating than Soulcalibur 2, but not as high as Soul Blade. So just I might clear that out of the way. When this game came out, people were bitching about this game non-stop for the dumbest reasons ever, and I will admit, I do have some complaints with this game. That's why it's not going to be getting as high as a rating as Soul Blade does, but it's going to be getting higher rating than Soulcalibur 2, but people were bitching about this game non-stop, like, for the dumbest reasons ever, and I can't help but think that the only reason people are bashing this is because it's only on the PlayStation 2, and the people who own a Nintendo GameCube and an Xbox are mad because Soulcalibur 3 was not on their system, so they had to go cry foul to mommy because they couldn't accept the fact that this game was only on the PS2, and so they couldn't accept it, so they ended up bashing the game. Which this game does not deserve the bashing because this game is a fun game. I mean, sure, like I said, it's not gonna be, the rating for this will be a little slightly lower than Soul Blade, like I said before, but still, it's a fantastic game that I recommend you all to check out. Now, for the story of the game, Soulcalibur 3's storyline is the same song and dance as the last few games. The evil sword-nosed Soul Edge came back to life, and the warriors are trying to destroy it, capture it, and such and such. It's basically the same song and dance as before, so talking about the storyline of Soulcalibur 3 would be kind of a waste of time because we already know what the story's about in this game series. So I just feel like that enough has already been said about the story. So let's just take it from there. Now, getting things started here, let's get started with the presentation, and the game's presentation is great, better than it was in Soulcalibur 2. The frame rate issues are gone. I did not notice any slowdown at all, so if it's one thing this game fixed, it's the frame rate. The frame rate is much smoother, the graphics look better, the character models animate a lot better, and the backgrounds look a lot more detailed. A lot of care and effort went into the graphics here. And of course, that's not the only thing that the care and effort went into, but a lot of care and effort went into the game and fixed the problems that Soulcalibur 2 had and stuff, and the graphics look a lot better. Even the opening cutscene looks nice too, and look, I mean, the opening cutscene looks just as good as the Soulcalibur 2 one, but the graphics overall have improved. And I should also mention that some of the in-game cutscenes look very detailed too. Like some of them use like a slightly better graphics engine in ours, like some of the endings do, and those look great as well. I should mention that back in Soulcalibur, back when Soulcalibur 1, Soulcalibur 2 came out, the endings were like text with a picture in the background and stuff. But here they're fully voiced and they look great and such. But if I talked about the endings a lot, I'd spoil the game for you guys. I don't want to do that because I'm not like that. If you want to learn more about the endings like that, go watch them and stuff like that. Here, this is just a review, so I'm not going to talk about that. For sound, the sound is fantastic. Of course, I have one complaint about the sound, but I'll get to that in a little bit. The music is awesome and stuff like that, and there's a lot more variety in the music here and stuff too. It's like we got a lot of orchestral tunes. Some of them sound very dark, while some of them sound very light and good and stuff, like dark for like the dark characters and stuff like that, and I wasn't the biggest fan of like the Soulcalibur 2 soundtrack, but the Soulcalibur 3 soundtrack is definitely better and stuff, definitely. The voice acting is also really good too, if you're talking about the Japanese voice acting. the English voice acting is still pretty hammy and stuff like that. That's my one complaint I have about the sound in this game, is the English voice acting. It's terrible. I mean, like, it's slightly better than Soulcalibur 2's and stuff like that, but the English voice acting is still bad. And like, they could have kept it all in Japanese like how they did with the original Soulcalibur, but they've included English ever since, started that for all the characters since Soulcalibur 2. And I feel like that, while I'll admit some of the performances of the English dialogues, of the English voice acting, whatever you call it, is a little better. A lot of them sound very ham, sound like they're phoning it in. So you want the good voice acting, switch to the Japanese, and that's what I did here. Switch to the Japanese because the Japanese voice acting is fantastic. It still is ever since. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
あんた自分が間違ってるとは思わないの？
小娘が言いたいことはそれだけか。
あなたここにいてはいけないのよ。
For gameplay is awesome, but there are a couple complaints I have with it, but the gameplay is still awesome. This review will be showing me playing as 6 characters: Cassandra Alexandra, Sophia Alexandra, Isabella Valentine, aka Ivy, Seska, which was requested for me to play as by my buddy Razorblade1812, Sung Mina, and of course, my buddy Casual Gamer's favorite, Voldo. And I know he wanted me to play as Voldo again here, and he wanted me to give him a shout out. So shout out to you, Casual Gamer, because I know you love playing as the character Voldo in this game and stuff like that. So this one's for you, buddy. And I also want to give a shout out to, once again, my buddy JJBrother88 and his girlfriend RH Nurse45. And I know they're celebrating their 4th of July party together and stuff like that and stuff. And a shout out to them because like they celebrated their 1-year anniversary like about a month ago, and happy belated anniversary to them, and I hope they are doing well because they're good people and stuff like that. My JJBrother88, like I said, it's been one of my best friends pretty much my whole life, and his girlfriend's a great person too, and they're perfect for each other, and I wish them a happy belated 1-year anniversary. So hope you guys are having a great 4th of July weekend and stuff. And like getting back on topic here, like one of the things that people complained about in this game was the fact that a lot of characters have different moves and stuff like that. Well, if you come to think of it, Soul Blade, the characters have different moves too. So what are you guys complaining about? Did you guys ever play Soul Blade? If not, then you need to play it right now or play it when you can, because you are bitching non-stop for stupid reasons. I mean, so what if Mitsurugi is different than he was in Soulcalibur 2? So what if Sophia or Voldo are different? Who cares? Do you want the same? Do you want the characters to be the same, just in a different game? No, Namco wanted to change it up, and that's what they did. You can't have the fighters have the same moves over and over again, because you want to know why? It'll make the game boring. So quit bitching about the different moves and stuff, people, for crying out loud. Enjoy the game. And the controls are still really smooth. Like I had no problem with the controls here, because I've been playing the Soul games ever since I was 12 years old in the year 2001. So I've been playing those, so I was used to the controls definitely. And we have a lot of modes here to play in this game. We have the Tales of the Soul mode, which is basically the game's story mode. And of course, the story is basically like you can make your own decisions. There's some quick time events here and there, but these quick time events end up working fine. So I don't have a problem with the quick time events here, because they're not in your face non-stop like I was with games like Cough Cough Ninja Gaiden 3 and stuff like that, and stuff, or Spider-Man 3 on the Xbox 360 and PS3 and stuff like that. It's not like in your face like that, so these are fine. Now, while this game does have a lot of modes, I will agree with the reviewers here that some of the modes can be disappointing, and I will admit that this is why it's going to get a slightly lower rating than Soul Blade. Some of the modes here, like I said, are pretty disappointing. Like, we have this mode called Chronicles of the Sword mode, where you create a character. But the create a character options are very limited, and I just never really cared for the create a character option here. It just feels kind of out of place. But it's nowhere near as out of place as the Chronicles of the Sword mode. This is a strategy game, and I'm left scratching my head wondering, Why is there a strategy game mode and a fighting game? Sure, you fight people with your created character, but it's not worth it. And I know I'm being a little harsh on this mode, but the thing is, I don't like strategy games. I think they're one of the most boring game genres ever, because I don't really have fun commanding people where to go and stuff like that. Like, tell them to go this way, tell them to go that way. It's just boring for me. I know it's a little harsh, but still, it's just, I'm sorry, it's just not that much fun. And the fact that your character classes, like, they look cool and stuff like that. Like, you can be a dancer, a knight, a barbarian, a swordmaster and stuff, but I just don't really like the created character options like that. It just feels very limited, just not that exciting for me. That's just basically what it is for me. But we have some other modes too that are actually pretty good. We got World Competition, which is basically like you fight bots and try to win like competition tournaments and stuff like that. And of course we have Quick Play, which is basically similar to the arcade mode, where you fight 8 opponents, stuff like that, and until you fight Abyss at the end and stuff like that. And it's kind of like how it is with the Tales of the Soul mode, stuff like that, just not without all the cutscene stuff. So if you want some that pretty much resembles the arcade mode, stuff like that, then quick play is for you and stuff. And of course, we got like the versus battle mode, stuff like that, and like the modes will keep you busy and stuff like that. So even I'm sure there will be people who will be fans of the Chronicles of the Sword mode and stuff like that, but I was not. I pretty much spent most of my time in the Tales of the Soul mode, the World Competition, and the Quick Play mode. But in the Quick Play, you also have a mission mode too, where you gotta defeat opponents at a certain in a certain way and stuff. That kind of how it was with the Edge Master mode and the Sword Master mode in Soul Blade and Soulcalibur 2. So that's also a plus there. And I really feel like that with this game, they were trying to make it very similar to the original Soul Calibur, because since us Sony people could not play that game because only on the Dreamcast, I feel like this is what Namco was trying to do. Try to make the game like Soul Calibur 1 as like a cater to people who own a Dreamcast and stuff too. And for people who like Soul Blade at the same time as well. Because you have the announcer say, "Welcome to a new stage of history," or "The Guri battle ended with the victory of, we'll say, Cassandra," and stuff like that. And I gotta say that usually my favorite female character is Sophia, but in this game I enjoyed playing as Cassandra more for some reason. I'm not sure why. I just had more fun playing as her. But there's actually another improvement that they made here. Each character has their own background this time. In Soul Calibur 2, certain characters share different stages, background and stuff, but here each of them has their own stage. The coolest stage has to be Cassandra's stage. She's in a burning building and stuff, and Sophia is the Greek shrine, and Voldo is the throne, of the treasure room and stuff like that, and Cervantes de Leon has a shipwreck stage, and Siegfried and Nightmare have a church, and there's a big variety of levels here. I just kind of wish that Soul Calibur 2 had done this, where each character had their own stage, but unfortunately that's not the case. But still, Soul Calibur 3 improved it here. Now, like I said, this game will not be getting a perfect 10 out of 10, because that Chronicles of the Sword mode is not fun at all, and the created character option is very, very pointless and limited, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. But it's still a better game than Soul Calibur 2. Like I said, Soul Calibur 2 is not a bad game, but I like Soul Calibur 3 better. And I definitely recommend people who are fans of the Soul series to do pick this game up. Don't listen to what people say. This game is awesome. I mean, who cares if the characters have different moves and stuff? I mean, that's like comparing apples to oranges and stuff. So definitely pick up the game. It's definitely worth it. My final rank goes like this. Those of you who are fans of fighting games and fans of games like Soul Calibur and Soul Blade, pick this one up, because you'll definitely enjoy it. It'll be definitely worth your money and stuff too. I mean, ignore the complaints, like I said, that people had about it, because it's just people who couldn't play this game because it was only on the PlayStation 2, I'm sure. I mean, even if true hardcore fighting game fans didn't like it, hey, I respect your opinion, so that, but people constantly bitching that that's only on the PS2. Get a life and stop complaining, and get a PS2 and stuff. Then, if you want to play this game so badly. So, what's my final rating for this? Well, except for the complaints I mentioned, this game is still awesome. What will I be giving it? Well, I'll be giving it a 9 out of 10. It's the perfect score for it because of the Chronicles of the Sword mode and the created character option, but still, it's definitely worth it. Now stay tuned for part 4, where we'll be jumping into the PS3 era of Soulcalibur. And before I end here, I will not be reviewing that spin-off Soulcalibur Legends on the Wii because 1, I don't have it, I don't have Wii anymore, and 3, it sucks. So not gonna bother that. But we're looking at Soulcalibur 4 next. We're looking at the PlayStation 3 version, and there's a lot to say about this one. Does it live up to Soulcalibur 3? Well, you'll have to find out in part 4. But that's all I gotta say. Peace out, everybody, and stay tuned, there's more coming.